Hi loves, happy full moon in Aries, happy Wednesday. Here we are again. I wanted to jump on this evening because I want to talk about something really popular that I get asked a ton of questions on, and I feel like this is something that I need to probably do in phases. So I will do kind of an intro and a basics tonight, and then I will do a couple of other sections to this just because I want to do some tutorials and actually do some walkthroughs. So what I'm talking about is making moon water. So as you all know, moon water is a super popular thing when it comes to the full moon. A lot of us actually use it during the new moon, which I will get to here, but one of the most common questions that I get on my page and asked about when I talk to people is, what is moon water? So moon water is water charged by the full moon. What I mean by that is usually the night before. So tonight, last night, I try to prepare my water, set it outside, and let the moonlight charge it all night. So another question is, what is moon water used for? And that is for pretty much whatever you dedicate it to be used for. So if you are going to start using it as a daily beauty regimen, then you would, make it as close to some kind of recipe or something that you want to use, and use it daily. I know people use it to water their plants. That moon water really does seem to help out. It's kind of weird. But, and another thing, of course, is, well, how do you make it? And it really is as simple as, tap water. It doesn't have to be purified. It doesn't have to be filtered, distilled, anything like that. It is literally just tap water. And what do you make it in? That's the other huge thing. Literally as simple as a mason jar. The mason jar is probably pretty much everybody's go-to just because it's really easy in the house. You're going to find one, whether it's a mason jar or it's an old salsa jar, something along those lines. You're going to have an old jar around here. And if you're not planning on, ingesting it just because you don't know, glass can be cleansed. So it can be cleaned, and, you shouldn't have any issues with using glass if it was, a salsa or green chili or something like that. But literally just a glass vessel. This is the preferred way to make your moon water, just because anything other is going to possibly leak toxicity from plastic, things like that, into your water, and you don't want to do that. So, glass is the best. I know during the wintertime it is hard because they can freeze. So this leads me up to the next thing that I want to talk about, and that is another question that I get asked a lot. What if it's cloudy? What if it's too cold or it's raining and I can't set my moon water outside? Not a huge deal. The energy is in the air. It doesn't matter. You're going to have that new moon, full moon, whatever phase of the moon that you're going to work with, you will have that in the air anyway. So when it's cold or it's snowing or it's raining, you can put your vessel in the windowsill or somewhere where it's not going to get cold enough to freeze and lose everything. Another thing, kind of an old wives' tale, I'm not sure, I'm going to call it tradition, just because I guess a superstition about making moon water is to really, when you put your moon water out at night, make sure you pull it in before the sunlight hits it. And in essence, that is drawing, if the sunlight happens to hit it, you're drawing that power out from the moon that you just spent all night, charging. So you don't want to have your moon water sitting outside too long in the sun, just because the sun's going to turn it into sun water. And that's another episode, another subject is, actually using sun water. And I don't hear too many people talk about it, but tonight we're talking about moon water. If you haven't made your moon water yet, I hope you watch this, just because it gets you like the initial basics out of the way. So, number one, glass vessel, please, just because you don't want any plastic toxins leaking from it into your water if you're going to use it on your face or happen to ingest. Mason jar, easy, go get. Another one, if you want to get fancy. This is my new moon water. And I do use new moon and full moon water. Those are the two that I usually work with. And I use separate vessels because they are for different intentions. Your new moon is for setting and your full moon is for releasing. So I don't like to use the same vessel just because I don't want that energy seeping from my last use into my new use if it happens to be from a different moon phase. So I use separate vessels. Hobby Lobby, dollar store, Dollar Tree. I've seen some cool little shaped jars that are really cheap, and you can fancy them up. That'll be something else that I am going to work on doing, just because I customize everything. So I'm going to be working on customizing my moon waters, my moon water vessels. So, and I've got a line in this one from the last one, and that's the only bad thing I can really say. When you get these little skinny necked bottles like this, make sure you have a sponge of some sort that can get down in there and clean that, because I honestly am going to have to clean this before I do something with the next new moon. So, and then of course, if you want to get more fancy and you want to get more into it, this is my full moon water vessel, again, glass, simple corks. I mean, they do get wet, and I do worry about that, so I try not to put a whole lot of oils and things in these, just because it is wood and it is going to absorb. So, and again, use saran wrap if you're going to use your, put your like mason jar and stuff outside, only because you don't want to, gobble down bugs the next morning, or any other impurities that might be getting into the water at night, raccoon slobber. Now, there's all kinds of great stuff. So make sure you cover it up. Hair tie, rubber band, and cling wrap over the top of it is just super sufficient. If you plan on using, wow, you guys, did you just see that orb? I'm going to have to go back and watch this. That was really crazy. My house is a different story. So when you bring your vessel in from outside and you're planning on ingesting it, please bring it in, put it in your refrigerator, and cover it up, just because you don't, like I said, want to have extra things in the water that you don't want. You don't want to, you do want to, if you know what crystals, and you decide to put crystals and oils and things into the water, I would suggest taking them out when you bring them in to put them in the fridge, just because you don't want to prolong the crystals in the water. I think anything at a certain amount of levels sitting in the water consistently is going to seep something, even though there are crystals that are made for the water, that can be put in the water. We will get into that when I actually do my next episode of preparing the water. We'll talk a little bit more about those, because something that I've kind of ran across here now that I'm on TikTok is a lot of people do not know, the beginners and the young women starting out in the craft here are not fully aware of the toxicity that a lot of these crystals have. So when they start using these in water and ingesting them, you guys, these can cause serious issues. So please do your research. Talk to someone who knows what crystals you can use. Like I said, I will get into that in a different episode, but you can put crystals. Essential oils, I will put essential oils in even if I am ingesting or putting on my face, just because I have really found an essential oil company that has kind of changed my life, and I just love the oils. If that's something you're interested in, please, message me and we can talk about that too, because they are amazing. Again, another reason why you want to use a glass vessel, because it's any kind of essential oil that you decide to use, whether you're, just using it on your body, it will absorb into that plastic, and you don't want that, the toxins leaking from the plastic back in your water, even if you are using it. So, how do you use moon water, full moon water? So, full moon water is all about letting go. So ritual baths, that's one good thing that I like to use with them. I will put some crystals in there, a few drops of essential oils that are for cleansing, leave it out in the full moon, and for the next few days, I will use that as a addition to my shower ritual, and, just do an extra cleanse. If I do just the water, the next morning I will try to do just a facial cleanse if I'm not taking a shower that morning, just to, kind of refresh the mind, release everything, and move on that way. Like I said, there are beauty spells. People water their plants. You can make money water, with the moon. And that's what kind of leads me up to where we're at now, because, a lot of people make moon water just for everyday use. My moon water, I try to make specific to the zodiac sign that the moon is in during the full moon or the new moon. So when you start incorporating that energy, you're essentially absorbing the moon's energy when you put it out, right? So tonight is an Aries moon, so we're going to be absorbing that Aries energy. So when we make that moon water, we want it to reflect what the Aries characteristics are. So confidence, focus, being determined, anything that we can add to that and kind of amplify those characteristics in that moon water, that's what we want to try and use. And this way, when you use it throughout the year, you're using a different form of moon water in conjunction with that zodiac sign of the current moon's phase. Another thing that I recently, I know if any of you have watched my first episode, you know that my mom pretty much got me on this path. I have kind of just gone to another extreme to where she was. Now that she's retired and she's home, and she's, fully supporting kind of what I'm doing, she is trying to get back in and start incorporating more of this stuff in her life. So one of the things that, she was fascinated by and has been doing since our strawberry full moon, which is like February, I believe, is making moon water with fruit. So she picks a fruit. She loves the strawberry moon. That's when we started it. And so, of course, that's, when she is usually what she'll put in the water. But that's another thing that you can customize as the seasons change, is like, this is the hunter's moon. We're still in harvest season, even though it's, we're in the Midwest. We haven't really froze hard yet, so we're still harvesting stuff. I would maybe do honey, apples, something kind of autumny, fall-y, to put in your moon water, even if that's all you use it for. She just kind of drinks it, every day afterwards to absorb that full moon energy, and works on, just an affirmation of release. So there's a lot of different things. This is a very customizable ritual, and for anybody to say that there's like one wrong way or one right way to do this is extremely naive, because this is so customizable to exactly what you want to do. And if you are new enough to the craft and new enough to moon water, and you are not sure what to put in the water for oils, herbs, crystals, don't. Set it on a plate or platter, plastic plate, it doesn't matter. Add your stuff around it. It's still going to absorb. It's still going to put that energy into the water, and you will not be risking possible toxicity from putting the wrong things into it. So I hope this kind of gets the basics out of the way. I'm thinking in our new moon that's coming up, our next new moon. I think I'm going to try and do like a video here actually preparing my new moon water and kind of show you exactly what I do. And I'm going to probably work on customizing my bottles a little more, just because, you know, I customize everything and it all has to have some flair, crystals, rope, jewels, whatever. It has to be customized. So I will be fixing those up too. And it just puts your energy into it that much more. It just, it helps manifest because it's attaching itself to you. So think about that when you're preparing. Your intent, of course, is everything. And I hope you have an awesome time tonight preparing your Aries full moon water, and take that energy, that strong warrior energy, that fire energy, and use it. And I hope to see you guys soon. And thanks for following me if you are. If not, please click a subscribe. I would love to get past the point that I don't have a number at the end of my channel. I would actually love to have an actual channel name. It would be really awesome. So anyway, we will talk to you soon.